Hello, parents, students. This is Dr. Grant. I want to come to you today to talk a little bit about the safety protocols that we have in place for this coming year as we start a wonderful school year here at Wade Hampton. So let's use this presentation rather, as a way to go back and review with your family and make sure that you are prepared for all the different ways we need to protect ourselves, particularly during this pandemic with COVID-19. First and foremost, I want to give you the information related to the symptoms of COVID-19 so that you can just be aware of what they are. We have protocols in place here in the building to address whenever a student does show symptoms of COVID. We'll follow a very detailed and very thorough process with the help of our school nurse and administrators to make sure we address any time student is or staff member by that manner is showing symptoms of COVID. But be aware of what they are. They're listed right here on your screen: coughing and shortness of breath, fevers or chills, muscles or body aches, vomiting or diarrhea, and then new loss of taste or smell. If any time that you are feeling ill, we'd rather you stay home and just contact the school, and we'll communicate with you how you can still engage in your learning during that time. But we want to make sure we're safe and cautious during this period of time. We want to really highlight the use of proper hand washing. This slide gives you I know we sometimes think that we know what we're doing when we wash our hands, and for the most part we do. But this just really reiterates and really pushes home the notion of really make sure we really thoroughly lather up and wash our hands on a frequent basis. We have all of our restrooms and facilities have the proper amount of soap at all times, and we're going to encourage really, really good hand washing this year. We also have hand sanitizer in our facility, in our school, and so we encourage you to bring hand sanitizer as well. Hand sanitizer is never a substitute for good hand washing, but it can be a good alternative when you're not able to wash your hands with soap and water. So we want to just highlight that fact for you. Make sure you're aware that masks and face coverings will be required in the building. We have several opportunities or several examples of what that looks like, whether it be neck gaiters, tightly woven fabrics such as cotton or t-shirts. Just make sure you have face masks and face coverings at all times. No face covering or mask will be permitted that display profanity, derogatory statements, advertisements, display items that are prohibited at schools, such as tobacco and drugs or sex. And they must not containing obscene, profane, lewd, vulgar, indecent, or offensive language as well. But everybody, including staff, will wear a face mask until the point you can safely be at a 6-foot social distance standard. So for us, that's going to be primarily in the hallways and the cafeteria, common areas where we gather. We're going to have our face mask on. And once you're in the classroom, seated at your desk that are already set to be 6 foot apart, you can remove your face mask at that point. Same thing with teachers and staff. We're going to have our face mask on until the point we are safely 6 feet apart, and then we can then remove our face mask as well. If there's a situation where you're not able to wear a face mask and it's a medically related reason, then you can contact me and school nurse for that particular permission not to wear a face mask, but it must be a medically excused reason to do so. This graphic gives you an example of how to wear a face mask. So you'll notice that on this screen, there are several ways of how not to, and what is obviously the correct way, proper way to wear a face mask. Please use this screen as a way to review prior to our first day of school. Once again, I want to highlight our social distancing, which is 6 feet spread. Okay. And then obviously we love to greet each other all the time. So the appropriate ways to do that would be waves and, raising your hand, thumbs up, the virtual fist bump, those types of things. But what we're not going to be able to do in the foreseeable future is hugging, handshaking, fist bumps, actual fist bumps, elbow bumps, and, no high five. So any kind of physical touching we're going to avoid this year. And just be aware that our water fountains will be turned off. Students are able to bring their own water bottles. We encourage you to do that. We will have no-touch water filling stations, so you can bring and fill up in your bottles. I hope this is helpful for you. Please use this as a way to prepare for the first week of school. Go Generals.